I'm Dave from boyinaband.com, and welcome to XFX owners and curious cats alike to today's installment of How the Hell Do I Work This Awesome Thing. Today I'm joined by my guitarist, Kieran from guywithaguitar.com. That's just lovely, thank you Kieran. Today we'll be dealing with drive and distortion. We'll cover subtle tone shaping distortions, old school rock and roll drive, and heavy tube and solid state model simulators. Long gone are the first days of distortion, days when distortion was a result of a broken amp or valves, or even the Kinks having to slash their speaker cones in order to get a dirty drive sound. Welcome to the new world of distortion. Let's start by swinging on over to our bypass setting. Right at the end. Lovely. Now, click Layout, and move one block to the right. This block here we'll save for later. Turn the wheel to the right, and create an amp. Now, we need to make sure the amp itself isn't heavily driven, otherwise we're going to end up with a lot of squealing and it's just not great for demonstration purposes. So we're just going to keep the type as tube pre for now. And we're just going to stick with the default settings here, so we're left with something barely driven at all, like my dad's expensive motorbike that he promised was worth every penny. Check it out. Now, we're going to press Layout, and go to the right, and create a cab. Just so it sounds a bit more natural. And we're going to leave this on the default setting as well. It's just best to have it there because you can always come and fiddle with it later. Okay, 2 spaces back. And we're going to create that drive. Now click Edit to open it up. And straight away, we're given a nice crunch tone called Rat Dist, which is a simulation of the Pro Co Rat Distortion. Now this is a raspy fuzzy sound with a great tone for lead guitar work. Check it out. Now you can't really hear the tone at the moment because some of these settings are not very good, but we're going to be sorting them out in a second and brightening it up nicely. Now I'll be showing you some of the other types available later, but for now let's take a look at some of these other parameters. We're going to settle on the M-Zone Distortion type for now, just to get a nice heavy tone. And our first parameter to the right of it is the drive. We're going to set this quite high to around 7 or 8. Take a listen as I change it. And that just gives it a thicker, distorted sound. Next up, we've got tone. And if we just turn this up, it'll give us more kind of volume and definition. So take a listen. Going to keep that nice and high. Levels simply sets the output volume of our distortion block. Seeing as this is quite a high level setting, I'm going to leave this as it is. And mix customizes how much of the distortion you want in the mix. So you could have it half distorted, half not if you wanted, or just not distorted at all. But we're going to leave it on full. Now, press page right to see a whole new world of parameters. Feel free to customize the high and low cuts. Wish to get rid of any high or low end. Remember, we don't need as much low end as you would think if you intend to have bass in your recording as well, but customize until you're happy. We'll leave the other parameters on this page untouched for our metal tone, because they don't affect the sound that much in this instance. Page to the right, and we have our frequency range. We currently have a very full tone, and if that's what you're after, feel free to leave these babies untouched. Many guitarists craving that metal tone prefer the old mid-scoop, where the mid-range frequencies are cut completely from their sound. By decreasing the mid and the mid frequency here, we can achieve that tone. Take a listen. Having said this, many people say a great metal tone is achieved by a mid boost. So if we boost the mids here and drop the bass and treble slightly, it'll sound like this. Depends what you're going for. Now, let's take a look at some of the types of distortion simulations available. So if we go all the way back, let's see what we've got available to us. First up, is the T808OD, which is a simulation of the extremely popular Ibanez Tube Screamer. The starting volume is set quite weak compared to the others, so you might have to change some of your parameters to the right hand side if you'd like to use this tone to its optimum potential. Take a listen. So if I turn up the tone and level a bit, take a listen to it. Could do with a bit of high boosting, I think, but you can see the potential there. Also, if you're a fan of that sound, you've got the T808 mod available as well, which is slightly different. We're just going to go back one to Fat Rat. This is similar to the first Rat, but with a thicker distortion and a low mid boost. I'll turn the level down. Reduce the tone a little bit. And take a listen. Cool. Octave dist plays a note an octave above the note you're playing at the same time. Take a listen as I play just one note. And a different distortion. There, you can hear it. It's not a particularly heavy drive, but it's great for filling out a wide range of frequency. It simulates the Tycho Brahe Octavia. FET Boost gives us a very slightly 60s style drive. I think the tone from the Kinks, You Really Got Me. It's a boosted clean signal, and it's great for that slightly driven indie sound. We've already heard the M-Zone distortion, so let's move on to the last one, Face Fuzz, which may be an option that's only with the Ultra Edition, I'm not sure, but simulates the Dallas Arbiter Fuzz Face pedal used by Jimi Hendrix for that 60s psychedelic rock tone. Take a listen. For an old school rock tone, if we change the type to something like the Rat Dist, and leave our EQ at a mediocre, let's everyone point upwards, we have that nice AC/DC cheese we all love so much. Take a listen. So there we have it. A quick introduction to some very different types of distortion. Feel free to play with your tone as much as you'd like until you find that one tone you need. It's all very subjective, and the likelihood is, if you want to create one specific tone with the Axe FX, it is possible, and the drive block will help you to get there. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you next time. That's D flat. Just play some chords.